What's good, y'all? Michael here today for another video. You already know the drill. Before we get in, yada yada yada, please go subscribe. Listen, I'm not in the mood to make this long, alright? But I'll make it long as possible for you all. Hopefully this makes, I don't know if this is gonna make the news at this point. I was pissed off last night. I said some unusual shit to Matt Nagy. He's not gonna get fired. Newsflash, because he has a 5-2 record currently with a winning record. If you're a great leader, like people say you are, Matt Nagy, you should give up play calling. It hasn't been working out. At what point do you need to say it's not working out? Even your own goddamn quarterback, Nick Foles, has already said what you're doing isn't working. I know Nick Foles says, "Oh, it might be just a miscommunication." Nick Foles will just say, it was just a miscommunication. Because I've seen Nick Foles argue with Matt Nagy on the sidelines before. I have seen it. The play calling has just been god awful with Matt Nagy. The only reason you have a good record right now is because of that defense. That defense is only going to give you so amount of wins that you're wasting prime defenses. It's a shame you're wasting prime years of Khalil Mack. It's a shame you're wasting prime years of Akeem. Roquan's young, okay? He'll live through this. But you're telling me this guy's going to win. Here's what I've been getting from Bears fans in the offseason, mostly YouTubers. Give Matt Nagy a confident quarterback and he will succeed. What does he do? He goes in the offseason, barely refuses to fix the offensive line problem. And I know that's not his fault, it's on Pace's fault, which I'll get to in a minute. What does he do? Brings in Nick Foles. All right, if we wanted to give up on Mitch so badly, we could have brought in somebody, Cam Newton, Tom Brady, Jameis Winston, Teddy Bridgewater. We could have brought in any of those people if we thought Mitch was the bust. But since Ryan Pace is so loyal to his number 2 pick that he traded up to get him, and if he knew that if he brought in somebody to beat out the quarterback that he traded up to get, he's going to get fired. All right. The only ones that would not get fired is Matt Nagy, because Matt Nagy wasn't born in the Bears era at that time. Matt Nagy was in Kansas City at the time. Calling space and space. Nick Foles comes in week 3. We went to him too early. Nick Foles cannot carry a team 16 games. I know what you're saying. The Jaguar system is complete garbage, because it is still completely garbage. Then the St. Louis Rams were a complete garbage with him. But what point do you know Nick Foles isn't that type of quarterback that could just be there for 16 games? Now, I'm not calling Nick Foles out on this. If Nick Foles was clutch the Colts game and the Rams game, then something would be up. All right? You're hearing from the person that likes Nick Foles. All right? He's a Christian man. I respect the Christian man here. And I don't believe when he says Matt Nagy, I don't believe what he said in his press conference about Matt Nagy. All I'm saying is everything I'm saying right here is right. I'm not going to ask for any respect of the social media. We went out there and we proved we have a Super Bowl caliber defense, and we proved to have a pathetic offensive play caller. This is literally how we're not going to win the Super Bowl anytime with Matt Nagy. Until he gives up the play calling, our Super Bowl hopes go straight out the window with Matt Nagy. If we do not fix the offensive line problem, the main problem is we should fire Ryan Pace. All right. But I don't want that to happen, bro. Like, if we let that happen, the new GM is going to be cutting these bozos. They're going to trade Khalil Mack for first rounder. They're going to trade Akeem Nicks for some first rounders. They're going to trade Eddie Jackson. They're going to clean up house with the Bears because they're not having patience. Maybe Roquan could be there. Maybe Eddie Goldman could still be there. But let's be for real. Any team with a losing record, any team with new GMs, new coaches, they usually burn it to the ground at this point. Maybe we can turn up something against Drew Brees. Drew Brees hasn't been the same mobile quarterback he was before. But just by judging by his checkdowns to Alvin Kamara and how bad we miss Eddie Goldman, our run defense is horrible. I've been saying this since Eddie Goldman opted out of the season. We are going to miss him. We should have signed Snacks, but that's on Pace. He's too loyal on Bilal Nichols. He's too loyal. At this point, I wouldn't mind Roy Robinson Harris. Maybe Mario Edwards. No, Mario Edwards should be the nose tackle. Bilal Nichols needs to chill. Needs to sit on the bench for a couple games. Okay, now that we got Matt Nagy, I think I've ran out of shit to say about Matt Nagy. He's a horrible play caller. He doesn't open up the book. His own quarterback doesn't like him. No. I wouldn't say he doesn't like him. He just doesn't like the positions that he's putting him into. All right. If he doesn't give up the play calling or doesn't step it up, we should fire him. All right. I know what you're thinking. Why do you want him fired? Matt Nagy is a great leader of men, according to people. If he's a great leader, just give it up. Just give it up, dude. Give it up. Give it up. All right. He's too soft on his players. He was too soft on Mitch for 2 seasons now. Statistically 3 right now, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. As far as I'm concerned about this defense, this Bears defense is pretty dominant. All right, on all sides of the ball. All right, they got pressure. They were getting torched by Jared Goff. But let's be for real. The Rams are legit, okay? The Rams were like I thought they were. They were a good team. They finished out strong. They could make the playoffs. I don't know about chances of making the Super Bowl at this point because they could score 3 at this point. Now let's get to Ryan Pace. Look, man, you do good at the tight end spot, but Demetrius Harris is not it. J.P. Holtz could be better. J.P. Holtz is a better career option right now. We are Demetrius Harris injury away from using Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet is playing better than Demetrius Harris. As far as I'm concerned, Demetrius Harris needs to be cut or needs to be traded. Either way, I don't care. At what point do you not bench him? Because he has many drop passes. Many drop passes, and you need to cut him. Ted Ginn needs to go. He hasn't fit this offense. He hasn't fit this offense at all. He's old. He's not the same guy he was. He's not. He was only better because of Cam Newton. He needs to be cut. Matter of fact, he shouldn't even be allowed on the plane back. He should drive all the way to Chicago, if I'm being honest. All right, let me go to Ryan Pace. You suck at offensive line. All right, the tight ends are good. Jimmy Graham and not Demetrius Harris. Why the fuck did I say that? And Cole Kmet are good. The wide receivers are good. Anthony Miller had a good one-handed catch. The running backs were complete and utterly gone, but that was mostly on the offensive line can't block and the goddamn play call. Patterson, and a lot of people were saying, do you want Patterson cut? No, I never said that. I just said Patterson's not very good as a running back. He's only a gadget type of running back. He's not really a running back that just you can hand the ball off many times. He's doing the Tariq Cohen job. He's doing the Tariq Cohen type of job where we throw him the ball and he just catches it. Since Tariq Cohen is out with an ACL and he's out for the season. If you do not make a move, Pace, on this offensive line, you're done. All right. Ryan Pace, okay, I've said this before. It doesn't matter who your quarterback is. You had Mitch for statistically 4 seasons now. You drafted him 2017. John Fox was a horrible head coach. You got him up out of here. You brought in Matt Nagy. 2018, finished with a 12-4 record. You finished with a 12-4 record. You've lost in the wild card because of the double doink. The double doink. You fixed the kicker situation, but what point do you not fix this offense? At what point do you not fix this offense? Then 2019, you took a huge step back. The offensive line was garbage. Our quarterback play was garbage. Our wide receivers led the NFL in drops this season. Not this season, last season. As far as I'm concerned, all the quarterbacks that us Bears fans want are not going to plug them holes. Even our own quarterback doesn't have faith anymore, Matt Nagy. The only thing I will say to Nick Foles is just do Aaron Rodgers. Just pretend you don't have a headset in your helmet. Just do that. You're not copying Aaron Rodgers. Just throwing it out there. As far as I'm concerned, hope we bounce back. Hopefully this ain't a loss that we'll just go back and be like, oh shit, we're done. Oh shit, season's over. Like, I was mad as a fucking boss last night. I was mad as a fucking old man last night. Well, let me ask you I'm going to give you an honest answer. Bears fans, do you really want this guy calling plays over and over again? Do you want Demetrius Harris to be your tight end anymore? Do you want Ted Ginn Jr. to be your punt returner and drop passes? Do you want that? Do you want this offensive line to just keep blowing up these coverages, making Nick Foles having to go out of the pocket, which we all know he's not very good at? All right, that was Mitch. Nick Foles just sits in the pocket. We need to make an offensive line move. All right. I know won't happen because Ryan Pace is too loyal. Ryan Pace is too loyal to his offensive line. He's too loyal to Charles Leno, who isn't looking very good right now. He's too loyal to Rashawn Crawford. Whatever. He's too loyal to these guys. He's too loyal to this offense. And it just proves what Kyle Long said. Matt Nagy isn't a good leader. It just proves that. Everything was all sunshine and rainbows when Matt Nagy came in his first year. Because at this point, he's not been looking like 2018 Matt Nagy, where we all thought he was the truth. He went from 12-4 coach of the year to becoming coach of the joke. You're coach of the joke. All right. I speak for the Bears fans. I would do a better job play calling. If I was in Matt Nagy's shoes in the Carolina Panthers game, I'd run the goddamn football. All right. I know what you're thinking. Our run game is If I was the GM and the head coach, Bill O'Brien style, I would trade for an offensive lineman. I would get offensive linemen in that draft. If I'm being honest, we should have never drafted Kyle Van Noy the CB. Yeah, I know he hasn't started yet, so I really can't criticize his play. I would draft an offensive line. We failed to do that in the draft. And we failed to do that in the offseason, despite the 2 people we signed. Despite. If I was the GM, I would force Matt Nagy to give up play calling. And if I was the play caller, I'd be running the football a lot. All right. Nick Foles, Mitch, run the football. Good lead blockers. I'm putting Darnell Mooney over Ted Ginn Jr., which he is. I'm putting Miller as a slot receiver, which he is good at. Allen Robinson is probably gonna I don't know if this concussion is serious, but if it is serious, we need to sign a wide receiver that's available. Maybe I know Taylor Gabriel isn't the same route runner he was, but you gotta do what you gotta do, man. All right. I know you're like Miller isn't a good number 1 wide receiver. All right. He can't fill in. Darnell Mooney is a rookie. You don't know what you're going to get out of him. All right. Allen Robinson's great, but we don't know how serious the injury is. But my whole thing is with Allen Robinson is if you want to prove that what contract do you want? 18 million it was, or maybe 20 million. You have to show that, bro. You can't go out there and just put up like so far he would have had 3 touchdowns because 1 was overturned in that Falcons game. Bullshit call anyway. All in all, man, I give up on my Nagy's play calling. I give it up. Okay. I hope for Drew Brees hasn't been looking like the same quarterback he was years ago. He doesn't have the arm strength anymore. But just because of this play caller check this out. The Saints have a horrible defense. It's a terrible secondary that got torched by Justin Herbert that's making his 4th career start, who made his 4th career start. Got torched by Aaron Rodgers. Got torched by Matthew Stafford for a quarter. That got torched by Derek Carr. At what point? We have to look into that. We have an advantage. But as far as I'm concerned, if Matt Nagy doesn't give up play calling duties, this is going to be a long season full of wide receiver screen passes. And what would I do if I was in the Buccaneers game? I run the football in field goal range. I burn clock down. I don't want Tom Brady to get the ball back. I don't. All right. You can say what you want. We're the worst 5. We were frauds the whole time. I'm keeping the same energy. It's 5-2. All hope is not lost yet. Okay. I'll admit I was pissed off last night. Thought everything was done. Then I rethinked everything. I just said, Matt Nagy, I hope for the best out of you if you continue these play calling. I just hope for the best because that's what I did for Danny Trevathan and Anthony Miller. And they bounced back and they earned back my trust. However, Matt Nagy, you have my trust for statistically through like 2 seasons you've been here. 2018 was a great year for you. 2019 was a horrible year, but from what I heard from people, they just said, just get yourself a quarterback and it will work. You got your quarterback who you know and been familiar with on the time with the Eagles, on the time with the Kansas City Chiefs. You got your quarterback, same result. Now, a lot of that's on pace. And Matt Nagy, you have your quarterback. You have your playmakers. You have your tight ends. You have your wide receivers. You have your playmakers. You basically have everything you want. It's the same result. Doesn't matter if you put in Mitch. Doesn't matter if you put in Aaron Rodgers. Doesn't matter if you put in Dan Marino. Doesn't matter if you put in Tom Brady. Doesn't matter if you put in Patrick Mahomes. Doesn't matter if you put in Deshaun Watson. They are not going to make life better for the Bears. They're not going to. Because you want to know what's holding the Bears back from being a potential Super Bowl contender? Do you want to know what's holding them back? Look at the head coach and the play calling. Yeah, that guy, Matt Nagy. He's holding them back. If we had a confident play caller, our offense would be top 15. As of right now, I can't blame Nick Foles for this loss. All right. Yeah, I could say the 2 interceptions he threw, but let's be for real. He had no time in the pocket. He hasn't, we went to him too early. We went to Nick Foles too early. He's Eli Manning quarterback. If we had playoff Nick Foles for statistically 16 weeks, we would be at best 13-3. At worst, we would be 11-5. Because Nick Foles only shows up for the second half of the season. We went to him too early. He's not that type of quarterback. I love Nick Foles. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying that from an Eagles perspective, from what I'm seeing from what I saw on the Eagles, what I saw on the Jaguars, what I saw on the St. Louis Rams, what I'm seeing right now, he's not a regular season quarterback. And we're going to draft a quarterback. Maybe not in the first round, maybe in the 4th round, we're drafting a quarterback. My whole thing is this. We got a lot of plugs we need to plug in this offseason if this shit doesn't get figured out. We need to fire Pace if this shit continues. We need to fire Matt Nagy if he doesn't give up play calling duties. We are going to restart the system if it continues this way. And we've been doing that for years. We had 51 starting quarterbacks ever since our Super Bowl run. And only 2 of our quarterbacks, 2 of the quarterbacks this past decade, who have only made the Pro Bowl. Jim McMahon and Mitchell Trubisky. Every single quarterback, it was garbage. From Rex Grossman, Jay Cutler, Mike Glennon, every single quarterback the Bears have been complete and utterly garbage. As far as I'm concerned, we give Cutler every excuse in the planet. We give Cutler a contract extension when he had a horrible season. And we got laughed at for that. And us Bears fans defended Jay Cutler. All he needs an offensive line. All he needs wide receivers. All he needs a head coach. Where is his energy right now? Because you want a new quarterback every week. And I'm talking to Bears fans. You want a quarterback every single week. But it's not the quarterback. It's far beyond the quarterback. It's the play caller that thinks that Mitch wasn't the answer. Okay, fine. He wasn't the answer. He's on the bench right now. He's not on the field. Unless he's a ghost or something, he's not on the field. All right? He's not on the field anymore. You have your quarterback, same result. It's not working. Maybe Matt Nagy, you have to look in the mirror and just say, oh, it's you. And what are you even saying? Oh, I need to look at film. I had no idea what I was calling. Then what? If you had no idea what you were calling, then what are you doing? Why are you opening the playbook if you don't know what you're doing? Like, what? Like, I'm trying to make sense here, Matt Nagy. You have to say we have to do better. We have to do better as a team. I'm very pumped up. We have to have a good week of practice. We have to look back at film, bitch. You've done that. It's the same excuse every game we lose. We have to be better as a team. We have to look at film and review and say what we can do better, and we'll do it in practice. Well, guess what, Matt Nagy? You had 3 seasons. Statistically, 3.5 seasons, and you've done none of that. All right. Hopefully, you do bounce back if you continue to play calling. But as far as I'm concerned, your trust has to be earned back. Okay. Trust has to be earned in the NFL. Trust has to be earned. And right now, you don't have Mitch anymore. Now, like he would make things better, but he's not going to. He is not going to make life better for the Bears. I know he can move around in the pocket. I know he can get out of the pocket and scramble, but let's be for real. It's not going to make life easier. Nick Foles can sit in the pocket all day and make these deep throws that Mitch can't. But it's not going to make life easier. Cam Newton, scramble, does very well. Not going to make life easier if we did sign him. Sean Watson can scramble well, make plays, can take a sack and still get a huge yardage. He's not doing anything right now with a bad offensive line in Houston. He's 1-6. He's on the edge of missing the playoffs. He's on the edge of not missing the playoffs because how bad of a GM Bill O'Brien is. And I hold Deshaun Watson accountable too. All right. If we have Patrick Mahomes, strong arm, can make plays happen. Not going to make life easier for the Bears. Russell Wilson, who you all think we're going to trade for this offseason, won't make life easier. Will not do it whatsoever. All right. Well, anyway, that's it. That's all. Subscribe. My name's Michael, and I approve this. I approve this message.